I don't know why, but you are watching the Madness Comic Network. Are you mental?
Cat and mouse vipers. Giant child-snatching vipers are terrorizing New Orleans, pulling children from their homes in the middle of the night in their eagerness to take on human trafficking in the city. Cat and mouse find themselves in the thick of it. Crime, action, drama with a smattering of superheroics. Now, like Roland Mann said, our head honcho here at Silverline, go do some backing, and we appreciate your support.
It's Flip City Magazine, The Parodies, Special Edition, with savage send-ups of The Walking Dead, Star Trek Picard, Stranger Things, The Mandalorian, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more from the first 4 years of Flip City. Get Flip City The Parodies free when you subscribe in print at flipcitymag.com. The world's best satire magazine, and never, ever woke.
Hey, yo, what's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up?
Welcome to Monday Madness, the April 7th edition, and I have to dedicate tonight's show to my late stepfather, who's today would be his who knows what birthday. He'd be old, okay? But today would be my late stepdad's birthday. Shout out, Larry, I got you. You know. we ain't gonna never forget. That's how it is. Ghost Pepper, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. We survived the storms last night. We had a few trees down, but nothing too big. Had power outage until probably 1 or 2 today.
Yeah,
Yay.
that's what Doc was saying there.
It
He
was
said
a lot of fun.
it missed him though. Doc said it missed him today. Didn't get his house.
Yeah.
So he got one of his friends though. It's like, man, dang it, you know.
It's still raining here, just like cats and dogs. It's crazy.
So we have a few different guests today. We have our friend Addie from Drawstreams, obviously, and one of the people that she collaborates with, and they're going to be out here talking about their campaign on Fund My Comic in just a moment. And later in the show, John from John's Longbox is going to be out here talking about his new campaign. And then after that, I got Chris going to pop in and give us a little update on the launch of Slaughterville BLC, which happened this morning on the network and funded within 2 hours. So we're happy up in here today. It's a good day. So without any more dragging this out, I'm going to bring Addie in. Addie, I want you to introduce your friend because we know who you are.
Yeah. Frank Scott, is he in here right now?
He's backstage. I want you to introduce
All right.
him. Tell us who he
Okay.
is.
Yeah, so basically he's the comic connoisseur overlord. He knows everything there is to know about comics. Like literally. I haven't found anything that he doesn't know, actually. It's kind of insane.
Welcome. Don't worry, Addie. We'll share the campaign up right. You won't have to hold that. Don't worry. But yeah, Frank, welcome to the madness. It's good to meet you. I see what you're doing. I'm like, how come
Addie is co-weirdo of the company. We share that title. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm good with that.
Nice.
I love the stuff that Addie does. And when I found out she was collaborating with somebody, I was like, okay, I know what we're gonna get. We're gonna get Addie being crazy because that's who Addie is. We love that.
There she is, fresh off a trip to the toy section of Walmart.
At the same time, when I saw that you were an older guy, I was like, wow, another not creepy older guy.
He kind of like protects me. He protects me from the creepy.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that right? Because
he's like,
exactly. Because I know she don't hang out with creepy dudes.
Yeah, I chase the creepy older guys away because Addie's kind of non-confrontational, and I'm pro-confrontational, so we got no problems.
Yeah, I'm
She's also the mother of my favorite human being. So.
Oh, you love Bailey too.
I mean, who doesn't really? She's a sweetie
precious.
pie.
Yeah.
She's currently watching a movie.
No names will be mentioned.
Oh, look. Yeah.
She really is.
Love that girl.
Yeah. She said, here, Mom, you talk to Mr. Frank.
Yeah.
She makes me
So, what do you guys want to know? I can tell you.
Well, I'm going to pull up.
Tell you what Addie and I are working on, what Dave Mowry and I are working on.
All of it. You got about an hour, maybe 45 minutes.
All right. Well, I got 2 up there. I've got.
Which one do you want to see first? Which one do you want to cover?
All right. Sounds good. I can tell you the obscure comic book trivia that led to the project. And again, I love comic book history pre-1975. Not much use for anything after that.
I can see that. I get up into the 80s a little bit.
Other than Nexus. Must always plug Nexus.
Oh, here we go. You hear that, Mike? I know you're watching. Yeah, Mike is also a friend of the network. What do we have here? Can you see this? This is the page for the clock.
Okay. I can't. The clock. Okay. A little backstory for those who don't know. The clock was the first original mask hero in American comic books that was made specifically for the comic books. He appeared in 1936, was pretty well over with by the middle of World War II when they got bought out by Quality. He's public domain, so I completely revamped his origin, his backstory. He really didn't have one like most, B-list Golden Age characters. He didn't really have an origin story, so I gave him one. And his adventures take place in the city of Sky Harbor, which is my friend Kevin Burge and I, he's my co-creator. We each created a city, and mine is Sky Harbor, and it's more or less our version of Metropolis. And his is Silver City, which is Gotham. And imagine Gotham in the 30s before Batman. It's just a pit. So the heroes, pop up, masked vigilantes. The Clock's main nemesis is a defrocked priest by the name of Father Crime, and he had his genetically engineered alkalitis, which are altar boy dressed shakedown artists who go out and get their tithes on Sunday morning from all the business owners. And then he has his gun mall is a metamortal named Hail Mary, who has flame and combustion powers, and the Clock has to his fiance and later wife Safe, who is a lounge singer who just so happens to work for Father Crime's legitimate organization. So
yeah, well, you have to have a cover.
We have
cover crime, right?
we have a lot of side characters. Oh yes, we have lots of characters, side characters. We have a character not. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that question.
We were just listening to you talk about the characters. There was no question. You talking, just keep talking about your characters.
I think I froze.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. You're back though. You're back. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, first let me tell you about the lead artist. We've got Dave Mowry, and Dave has done work he's done the Green Hornet, he's done Cyber Force, Married with Children, The Simpsons, Vampirotica. He's a well-traveled artist since the 80s, and he really enjoys the golden age of comics, and that's kind of one of my favorite things. So we set both of our projects in the golden age, and he does all of the art. He does the pencils, the inks, the letters, the colors, and then also included in the Clock campaign is a campaign where for $1 you get the very first Addie the Adventurous story. And Addie is I always say that Addie is a wife, a mother, an artist, and a government sanctioned killing machine. And she has the ability of magic, which she got it from a lobster sorcerer that hangs around the neck of the moose god. Now Addie came up with that one, so I got to give her props for that. And so she can shape shift, but mainly she uses her powers to change outfits and put on makeup and things like that. So if the Clock is the shadow and he has a lot of similarities, he'd rather shoot first and identify a dead body later. But if he's the shadow, I don't know what we would call the Black Veil, because the Black Veil doesn't believe in any talking whatsoever. As you can see by the art, he's kill first and never ask questions. So there will be
Yes.
some conflict between the two men when the Black Veil arrives in Sky Harbor.
I
But
love that.
Addie
Look at
Addie
that.
is Addie has a sidekick who
That picture of Bailey is awesome. She's
With-
making the big eye. I love it.
This wasn't my idea to be a hero, by the way. Frank just wrote like.
Oh, I did that. That was totally intentional. If I can't sell comics piggybacking off Bailey's cuteness, then it's just over with.
I know, huh?
No, she is the queen of funny faces.
Yes. I love
She's going to be an actress and an artist. She sent me a birthday message the other day, and I have no idea how many takes it took her.
Oh, one.
it.
But the Addie comic is just pure fun. We have Cubert, the gorilla cowboy, and Cubert the gorilla cowboy rides a dinosaur named T-Rex, TWRECKS, and he runs afoul with Addie and her sidekick B Archer because they're trying to attack the ninja stronghold that he guards. So you get cowboy gorillas riding dinosaurs and ninjas. And if that doesn't sell a comic, I don't know what will.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic.
And there's Father Crime there. And in the very first episode of The Clock, we get Father Crime's Sermon on the Mount, where he shows up in the middle of Sky Harbor with his alkalitis and gives them orders, and that pretty much sets the stage for everything in the first story arc. And then we have Master Gravity, which is the second part of the story arc, where a modern day pirate in an iron Zeppelin comes into the city, and he's based on Addie's husband Kevin. We based his facial features on him, and he's basically, since Kevin's actually descended from Captain Kidd, we just kept that story and gave him superpowers and threw him in 1936. So
I know what it feels like to be thrown into a comic book, my friend. I get it.
This sounds fantastic.
Okay, Addie.
Yeah.
I've that's always just been I think I learned that from Mike. I think I learned that from Mike Barron too. He likes to throw a lot of real life things into the comics. That's actually, I told him, I said, don't think that I don't know anything. I said, but I literally did not know who Fats Waller was until his ghost showed up in a Badger comic. And then I was like, oh, this guy's great. Okay. Ain't Misbehaving, I know. I just didn't know who sang it. So, but Mike is my favorite author and my favorite comic creator. So
He's definitely.
you can't see. Oh no!
I was talking to Mike this morning. Actually, he's a friend of mine, and
well, Nexus is one of those books that just last time I emailed Mike recently because I got a hold of a Manfred von Richthofen signature. So I figured if anybody would think that was cool, Mike would enjoy that.
Thank you.
The last time I was in Fort Collins, I had him sign about 100 comics of the last comic that I had published, which uses one of his characters. I came up with an idea years ago of the character Riley Olivia Ortez, aka Rue, and she's the 8-year-old daughter of 2 retired superheroes and their friend the Wombat, if you're familiar with Badger at all. The Wombat comes to town, thinks she's a real baby kangaroo trying to pass as human, so he decides to make her a costume and teach her how to be a superhero, and you can imagine how that goes. But I sent the idea off to Mike, and he goes, "This is great. When are you going to publish this?" And I go, "I can't publish this, Mike." I said, "I don't own the Wombat. You own the Wombat." And he goes, "F it, use him. I don't care. F him. Do whatever you want." So there's why we have the Wombat. And in a very goofy, kid-friendly comic where we have Atticus Platypus and Werner Wallaby, who wars on Wednesdays because Tuesday's laundry day. And so literally between everything I've done with Addie and Dave, how do you two meet, man? I'm looking for an origin story here. How do you and Addie end up collaborating on a...
Frank sought me out on Facebook.
Addie, I saw some of her art on Facebook and I commented on it. I sent a friend request, and then we started talking on video chat, and then after that we just became friends. And then she sent the picture of Addie. She did a picture of a caricature of herself in this really silly pose, and I was like, okay, I got this idea. It's Addie the Adventurous, and we're going to title the first story, Moms, Martians, and Motorcycles, where Addie has to head off an alien invasion, and all the while looking good and having to keep creeps in the bar that she finds the Martians in off of her. And then we just stemmed from that. And then every once in a while, like I just posted on Facebook the Atomic Redhead, because Addie just came up with an idea one day and she's like, "Oh, look, it's the Atomic Redhead." And I'm like, okay, well, there's another one that we're using. So I sent the art to Dave. Dave liked it so much, he did his version, which he does a lot. And so we just keep cranking things out. That's Dave and I's problem, that we keep coming up with so much new stuff that we have to stop. Dave, your typical art. There's this guy here. This is probably the most dangerous man in all of the Funnies Inc. universe. He was created by Kevin Burge, and I really can't go into too much detail, but he has literally 9 lives, and at the end of the 9 lives, his powers revert to somebody else. So he's trying to do away with this ancient villain called the Yellow King, and the Yellow King is trying to do away with him and finish him off so that he can get the idol that gives him his powers and be rid of tomcats forever, because the cat's paw have been a thorn in his side for centuries. So there's a little bit of a teaser of Tomcat in the clock, because he's a denizen of Silver City, which is kind of a no man's land, kind of a, for lack of a better word, 1930s hood full of corrupt cops. And the one organic hero they have and I'm going to explain this out because somebody will freak out if I just give his name right off the bat. But he's a World War I veteran. He's the deacon of his church. He's a newspaper editor for Sterling City, and he reports on his alter ego, as J. Jonah Jameson would Spider-Man, and why Peter Parker, sells J. Jonah Jameson the pictures of Spider-Man, even though he knows he's going to malign him. It's just to cover up his secret identity. But so we thought about this, and we thought, what would a 1930s corrupt city call a black vigilante, and so they call him the Negro Terror. He calls himself the Terror, but in the newspaper articles about himself, he uses that term just to throw off anybody that might have any kind of suspicions as who the Terror is. But there's even a funny scene where the clock, he saves the clock in Sterling City, and the clock goes, "The Negro Terror, I assume," and he goes, "Negro Terror? I should have let them fill you full of holes." Negro Terror. And he goes, well, how about just the Terror? And he goes, yeah, that's better. He goes, I saved your life, So we have a lot of street level vigilantes. We've got a lot of the superpowered characters. We've got the Phantom Avenger, who I have to plug right now because Chuck Dixon helped me create her and came up with her origin a few years ago. So I always told Chuck, I'm pimping out your name any chance I get. And what could be a better time now when he's got the #1 movie in the country? So, exactly. And there she is.
I was talking to him this morning as well about coming on the show.
And she likes to beat Nazi saboteurs with baseball bats.
I think we got a little bit of a delay. A little bit.
Chuck, I added Chuck on Facebook in 2000. Yeah. I added Chuck on Facebook in 2016, sent him a friend request. He accepted my friend's request, which would have been enough for me forever. But oh no, then all of a sudden it says, Chuck Dixon sent you a direct message, and we talked for about 30 minutes. And so, Chuck's a good guy. Mike, I got to tell another Mike Barron story. I asked Mike years ago, after I'd met him at Indie PopCon, and he liked some of my characters, and so I called him one day and I said, what would you charge me to write a story using one of my characters? Pick whichever one you want and write a story. So he tells me, and it's dirt cheap, just dirt cheap, but he said, I got to keep you honest. So a few months later, a famous artist that he got was going to do another story using the same character. And Mike said, I'll go ahead and write the story for you. And I said, oh, I get 2 Mike Barron stories and I named off this low price. And he goes, you're not going to pay me for the second story? And I go, no, Mike, you didn't ask for any money. F you. You didn't ask for anything. And he goes, you're a cheap sumbitch. And so that's Mike in a nutshell. Mike is funny and knows something. I know everything about comics, or more than most people, but Mike knows a little bit about everything, or a lot about everything: music, art. As a matter of fact, last time I was in Fort Collins, I got him a Miles Davis album that he didn't have at the local record shop, just to thank him for all the stuff he's done for me over the years.
Yeah, Mike is a great guy, man.
He usually asks me, Mike is 100% solid, and he doesn't care about your political views. Just don't tread on his. He doesn't get very vocal about things like that, but Mike is a good guy, and Addie of course has Bailey, so always going to be aces with me, and until the time that that Bailey figures out that she is going to have a little sister and not a little brother like she insists, and then there might be hell to pay on that one. But Addie and I have many irons in the fire.
Good.
There she is.
All right, Addie. Time for you to unmute.
Hi, Bailey.
Time for you to unmute yourself and let's hear your side of some of this. What's
okay?
on?
Yeah. So we do Addie the Adventurous. We've been working on some stuff. I'm pretty sure. How many stories have you written that we haven't even got around to? Like 4.
And then and there's, man, you got this other one too that has
6, but who's counting?
Yeah.
6.
We have Moms, Martians, and Motorcycles. We have The Mommy's Tomb, which is about an ancient Spanish mummy. We have Who is B. Archer. We have Under the Sea. Yeah, there's the one that explains what did we decide to call her, but I can't remember her actual name. It's in my notes, but the Spider Fox.
Oh yeah. Fox,
with 3 X's. So that should tell you a little bit about Foxy's personality.
That's not a kid's book.
When Foxy meets a merman, she says, "I've heard when you go blue, you stay true." No, not when Foxy's involved. Foxy likes to say very off-key things. So, yeah, I guess it's the fox spider way of life. But we have B. Archer, who does not like Golden Girls jokes. And she doesn't want to hear.
Yeah, this is a comic for stay-at-home moms, I guess.
It's a bonbon book. It's a bonbon book.
We have a lot of fun. Our kid-friendly book is Hooligan Hound. Yes, it is. Get your key lime Hostess cupcakes and sit there with your hot chocolate and go to town.
So aggressive about it.
So what about, you say you have a kid's book too? Let's hear it.
I hate my phone.
Oh, the Hooligan Hound? Was that the one that was for kids?
Hooligans.
Hooligan Hound. I want to hear about it.
Oh yeah, Frank wrote that one basically too.
We have Hooligan Hound.
Mike.
Yeah, but you came up with a lot of blots, which was a genius thing.
Oh yeah, was the whole comic going? I'm trying to remember. Was it all of it going to rhyme?
Is it going to be a Dr. Seuss book? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I know that Frank wrote up
yes.
like a ditty. Yeah, Frank wrote up like a ditty that's like Hooligan Hound's back from the pound.
Basically, Hooligan Hound. Yeah. And we have all the main characters in the Hooligan verse are dogs or cats of some breed, and Addie came up with his girlfriend Lotta Blotz, who's a Dalmatian.
Animal puns.
I'm pretty sure this is my phone that's lagging this.
Well, yeah, it's a delay. We're it's the technical age. We're used to it. Things happen. We pretty much get what you're throwing down, man. We're getting it. And Addie just drawing away. You can share the screen.
Oh, yeah.
We aim to please. Our motto.
There you go. Keep talking. You're good.
Redrawing her. Just doing a quick doodle.
Yeah, so our Funnies Inc. motto is we're going to make comics fun again, if that tells you anything. So we're going to try and not cross certain boundaries, but there's going to be a lot of violence. So there's major liberty.
Put the violence back in comics again.
Yeah, put the fun violence back.
Major Liberty is the daughter of Columbia and Uncle Sam. But there's going to be if Kevin Burge has anything to do with it, we'll get plenty of violence because the first Tomcat story makes the grimiest shadow story you've ever heard look like Dr. Seuss. So Kevin Kevin likes his violence. Whenever he tells me, I've got an idea for a character for Rue, I'm like, oh no. But then he comes up with Barnaby Wild, who is a motorcycle, a cyclist, a biker with no bike because somebody in the outback stole his bike. So he walks around the outback trying to find his stolen motorcycle. And whenever he walks by, the kids sing Barnaby Wild to the tune of Steppenwolf, Born to be Wild. So, but that's about the kid-friendliest thing Kevin has ever created in his life. But
I can get down with that. Barnaby Wild. I'm done. I'm gonna tell you.
I can be down with
that. There's Major Liberty, and she's the daughter of Columbia, the Spirit of America, and Uncle Sam, and her sidekick is Vicky the Victory Girl. And in their first adventure, they come across the master apes, which are genetically engineered Nazi gorillas, because gorillas in comic books, have been there since the beginning of time.
Nazis too.
And there's and I love homage covers, and the black and white image there is an homage to Amazing Man Comics number 22 from Centaur, and that art is the closest you're ever going to get to even seeing a copy of that book. And we have Mantastic, the mafioso of Macho, which Pops and I'll understand better than you young folk, but he's a disco age superhero.
He does it.
He's calling you up, Pops.
Hey, I can't lie. I was around then. We did the for us though. It wasn't dancing. It was road.
If I tried that, but I fell on my ass. So I did learn to disco, and sadly, that's as far as my dancing skills ever progressed. So you'll never see me probably break a hip at this point.
See, I went not that long ago, Frank. I actually went skating.
But
I went about 6 months
ago.
Oh,
well.
6-7 months ago. I'm over 60, okay? And I went skating because one of the grandkids had their birthday party at the skating rink. And I'm like, what the hell? I can do this. I laced them up. I got out there. I fell on my ass a couple times, man. But before I left, I was skating backwards and stuff just like I did when I was a kid, man. So, it just took a minute.
You're a braver man than I, sir. You're a braver man than I.
I haven't found that thing yet where it's like, I just haven't found that thing where it made my mind go, yeah, Pops, you probably shouldn't do that.
I do a lot of things. I shouldn't.
Now we need some art of Pops smoking a blunt and rollerblading.
Well, I've
skated.
Oh yeah.
I've got some. We've probably got between myself and Addie, myself and Kevin, myself and Dave, and myself and an artist from Italy, Daniel Dambrenas Spizzani. Hope I'm saying his name right. But we've got probably 250 characters that are going to end up in a story at some point. So artists beware.
There you go. Jerry has a question for me.
And here's one for your viewers.
It's not Ghost Pepper, Carrie. It's not. All right, you say you got something for the viewers. What'd you show? Did you show something?
Still no proof I'm human.
I got something for you viewers here. If there are any viewers that are artists, I have a fully scripted story by Mike Barron that needs an artist. So if there's an artist that wants to attach their name to a Mike Barron story, and we can share the profits or the nothing that comes out of it, then
I can if you take that back off the table, I will give you a couple of great names. I only know, like, he's muted. He muted himself. You're muted. You're muted, Frank. I can tell you though, we have a bunch of awesome artists in this network of ours. Addie can attest to that. We have some really good artists that could help. That could definitely would want to do that. You know. Yeah, well, sorry, he just doesn't go. He doesn't go on camera, Terry. There's some people just don't do that. It's okay. He's not AI. You can count on that. Frank, you got to unmute yourself, buddy.
How do we tell? Can we not send him a message? Addie can.
Oh, I think he's froze up. All right, Addie, it's you now. He froze up. But yeah, as far as artists, come on, Addie. You know,
yep.
We got Billy, we got Les, we got all kinds of people that, it just depends on what style of art he wants.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'd want something that looks like classic. It's what he does. All his other stuff.
Like, it's classic comic, or is it like somebody like Bernie Wrightson, super, detailed and stuff, or you know what I mean, a cartoony like old school comics. Once I know what he's looking for, I know a dozen people of every style that would want to draw something with Mike Barron's name on it.
I'm sorry to a lot of young people that are listening, but he probably doesn't want anime.
No,
just saying.
No, like this kind of art, what you're seeing right here is probably what he's looking for.
Yeah.
Comic book, old school superhero comic book art. That's what I'm going to assume, that's what he'd be looking for.
While we're waiting for Frank to get back, I can show you some behind the scenes of Addie the Adventurous.
Yes,
if you want. So Frank is self-inserted himself into the story, calling himself the boss. So he's the boss.
What's up, Edwin?
So he's with a cigar. He's like, yes, he wants to be the boss because he is the boss. There's a sketch of B. Archer.
I like it. I like it.
So Frank just let me do up the concepts once he came up with the names. There's Rue that he was talking about, meeting Bailey when she gets laser eyes.
Now look, she looks just like Cindy Lou Who.
Yeah, I drew this back when Bailey let me put her hair up like that.
Yeah, that's Cindy Lou Who from the Grinch.
Yeah. So Kumo, the name that was escaping Frank was Kumo Jitsun, a fox companion, and I came up with the idea. He's like, "What animals do you like?" And I said, "I love foxes, but I also love spiders." And so he combined those two things and made the fox be able to have a bunch of legs that pop out with multiple eyes, like a spider and the fangs. And then all the legs are holding all these weapons, so that's gonna happen.
Sweet.
It's a taser. just random. It's just gonna be random funniness. He's come up with some good one-liners for the story. Yeah, there's the, what do you say, Kubert on the dinosaur sketch. So one of the a group of bad guys I meet eventually are called the Doms. He just wants it to be funny, weird, adult humor for some of it.
It's hilarious.
What else? I did make an Instagram page for this, but I haven't posted a whole lot on there. Here's a little paneled comic of me going, time for a fit to go out in. There's Kevin. And there I am changing into an outfit. And then I go, what is that? I missed a hair?
I like how Kevin's all with all the hearts and everything.
And then he's like, uh-oh.
No, the next one up.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm so in love. That's what it's supposed to be when you're married, people.
Yeah, it's like the superhero wife and the normal husband. And then the baby's got powers eventually. Frank wanted to pay tribute to some old comics, so we did this.
Nice.
I'm trying to remember. It was an homage to an Iron Man. Here, I can pull up the original here.
There you go. Yeah.
No.
And then I just stuck that there for now. But yeah, we did that for a couple things. But yeah, we're just having a lot of fun making up weirdness, funniness, making me way more crazy than I am in real life. But that's the point of a comic, right? Right? Gotta hype up them housewives. Like,
But are you really crazier in the comic?
Housewife to help. No, Bailey is crazy in real life. Yeah, the first comic I combat aliens and stuff, and that's the one that I believe Frank said is where if you contribute $1 to the funding, is that what he said? He mentioned when he set that up that you'll be able to read the whole comic for free for $1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all there.
I don't know if that was an add-on or if it was individual tier.
I'll have to ask him. He's been doing all the work for the website. But that's what we were gonna do if he's able to come back on here.
Addie, I have to ask you a question. Why aren't you drawing the book for Mike Barron?
Oh, I actually either didn't know or forgot about what he mentioned too.
You should jump all over that. I would love to promote a book written by Mike Barron and drawn by Addie Marie. I'd love to promote that.
I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Yeah.
So
I'll have to ask Frank about that later. He hasn't mentioned it in a while. If he has,
What's amazing to watch Addie draw on a lot of the draw scenes. She's so fast and quick with her, just like her thoughts, like what she has in her head. She puts it on the page so quick. It's so nice to watch somebody that can do that.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. I could probably illustrate it fairly quickly too if I don't let giving birth get in the way too much.
I had a friend. He does a draw stream on the network. He had a stroke, and I'm not talking about Levi. I'm talking about Les. He had a stroke, and while he was in the ER,
he was drawing.
He had the tablet on his lap. He was drawing, and the nurses kept moving him around and stuff. And he's like, "Hey, can you chill out? I'm trying to work over here."
I mean, that's what I'd be doing too. Just keep your mind off of things. Is it?
Yeah, he was just like he's like, I don't have time to stop working.
I could become like a famous artsy artist and draw while I'm giving birth, and you'll see when I was screaming because it'll go. Ah!
Yes, we'll have pages from the right time. We'll know. It's like, oh, we had to redo that page, but this is what happened on this page. That was a contraction panel. Yes.
The baby was crowning.
Good stuff. So you are all up in this adventures of Addie. Is that what it is?
Addie the Adventurous. He came up with the title too, and I was like, oh geez. But oh yeah, I drew that hooligan hound there. Yeah.
For the kids, we got
I think the hooligan hound was the first thing he asked me to draw for him.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's another homage to an old poster.
Good stuff. Power Nation.
Yeah, I think that's him and Dave.
Actor.
Yeah.
This is the guy of many faces, the master of disguise. Yeah.
Oh yeah, here's my drawing of Lady Liberty slapping Hitler off his podium.
Oh, where's that? Hold up, I'm missing that. Oh, the bitch in the slap.
And I wrote on the podium, "Angry little man yelling day."
Back out of here! Get out of here with that.
I've drawn a handful of things for him. There's a sketch of the three characters together. The women. He wanted me to draw that up real quick for him. Oh, yep, the hooligan hound. There's the this is for Addie the Adventurous. It's the lobster wizard.
The lobster wizard.
How you get magic in Maine is that you're force fed lobster and then thrown off of a lighthouse, and if you survive from the seagulls pecking at your eyes, then you get the powers. Yeah. Something along those lines. You have to go through it. Here's when Rue becomes a teenager, kicking ass. And Dave drew this. I colored this, but Dave drew the Brie Archer for one of the scenes because he liked her drawing that I did.
It's all good. Everything. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, I like coloring some of
stuff.
Yeah, I like coloring his stuff. I haven't heard a whole lot about the backstory of this one, but this is another comic they were working on called Spicy Crime Stories.
Oh, I like that one.
I drew her up. Colored it. Spicy. I can't remember what it was, but Bailey wanted to pretend to be an alligator, so literally Frank came up with a poem to go with that. Because Frank's an insomniac. There's a character I came up with that Dave drew and I colored.
Her name's like insomniac theme, man.
Her name's Ultraviolet.
Last night I was on a show, right? I was on 3 Beer Men, and I downed one of those 100 milligram THC shots. Right? And do my normal thing, and I'm trying to go to sleep, and then eat a gummy, and I'm trying to go to sleep. I don't sleep. No sleep.
No sleep. No sleep for you.
I toss around a lot and think about stuff that I could be doing.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my sleep. What should I be doing right now? Should I be doing something? I could be doing something. I wonder what's going on. I'm afraid I'm going to miss something. So the phone's over there. It's on. I can hear it when somebody pops up with something, right? It's weird. I didn't used to be like this. It was, it's all since I started doing the network. I can't sleep. I got work to do. I've never been so dedicated to something in my life. And I'm 61 years old, man. I've had a lot of fun. I ain't never been so dedicated to making something happen.
Me and Dave's characters and my colors go good together. We've been collaborating on some stuff.
Well, yeah,
mermaid. I can't remember her name, but
you got the colors to go along with all those weird things.
Yeah. Here's Frank as Sidious, showing me as Anakin, the dark side of comics. He's making me learn everything about comic history.
Oh, you're gonna have fun then. Wait till you get to September of 1963. Ask him about September of 1963. Why is that so special in comics?
Oh boy. So he's been in, with all the stuff he and Dave do, he's been inspiring me to create my own characters and stuff. So he also gives them backstories. So I made up that one. And I'm like, here, you can come up with something for that in your Insomniac-ness. I came up with a Cyclops mummy.
Sweet.
I was kind of inspired by the Thing poster by Drew Struzan for that one. There's another Dave drawing that I colored. I had to like redraw the lines somewhat.
See, now she reminds me of somebody. I don't mean the costume or the pose, the face.
Oh, yeah, that was his art though.
I'm trying to think somebody like the mom from Lost in Space or something.
Maybe.
Like the original Lost in Space, not the movie.
Yeah.
Lockhart. That's who that reminds me.
There's a character I made up, Electric Violet. I was gonna let Frank do something fun with her.
What's up, Josh? What's happening, brother?
Well, yeah, another endeavor Frank wanted to do was us have a YouTube channel and talk about the history of comics and such.
You guys can bring that show to the network. We will set you up, everything. You don't have to do nothing but be there. I'm serious.
Right.
You know me.
Right.
We will put you right up here on the network. No problem. If you want to do a show, we got it.
Oh, yeah, there's the Atomic Redhead. That was my idea for her.
Sweet.
It's like a sketch. I think I have there's Dave's drawing and I colored it.
Okay, is that bad acne? What's up with her on your picture?
Is that freckles?
Yeah, it was just like an airbrush just to do it real quick. But yeah, we've done some cool stuff together. There's that, I can't remember her name right now, but she's one of the heroes together. I did the background up real quick to go with her, and I colored her for him. Yeah. This is gonna be fun. Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff. Frank's been putting most of the work into it.
So now don't forget, to pimp this stuff, Addie. You come on the stream and stuff, and people saying, "Where can we find you?" Say, "Well, you can find some of my work right here at this campaign."
Yeah.
You gotta bang that gavel, and you gotta get people to go look at it and throw money at it, and we will help you. But by all means, man, it's like what is it that Doc says? It's a sad dog won't wag its own tail.
He threw in Rue reading Nexus.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I've been coloring a handful of pages for the story for them. Because like Frank and Dave liked the way I colored things.
Well, obviously, but
I mean, some artists aren't good at colors. I mean, like I'm getting there, but
I mean, look, I watch all the aspects of it. We've been doing draw streams for a couple of years, I know people that are amazing colorists. I know people that as colorists sometimes wash out line work, and I don't like that. I like a colorist that can do the colors without washing out any of the lines, because if you wash out the lines, then I don't need to see the black and white.
Yeah.
But I hate looking at a black and white piece of art that somebody did and then seeing what the colorist did and half the line work's gone. And it's out and it's this and it's that. And it's like, no, there was so much detail. Where to go? So it's a fine line to be a great colorist. Man. It really is.
There's Bailey when she was getting her superpowers, swinging cats around like nunchucks. This is part of the free $1 comic. I did all this up for the story.
She looked like the female version of Bam Bam right there. Bailey, smacking them cats on the ground. Bailey. Bang!
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm allowed to have fun. It's where the hell is my John guest? Where you at, dude? Where you at, dude? It's like party time.
Oh, yeah.
Chris,
Is Frank saying anything? I don't see him writing anything to me.
No, he might have just like lost power, got cut off, phone died. Who knows? Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, I know he'd be jumping back on if he was able to.
Yeah. Don't worry though, Frank. We got you. Fund My Comic, people. You guys see the links over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Fund My Comic for the Extraordinary Adventures, which has Addie's, right? Which one has yours? That one?
Oh yeah. The the clock link has it works better than on your phone if you use your computer, because when I use my phone I didn't see all this until I hit the green bar near the top.
That was the picture I was talking about.
The cute Bailey.
Yeah, the cute Bailey.
Yeah. He's like, find the cutest picture Bailey you got so that we can really milk this for all it's worth.
That's great.
I love it. Yes. So yeah, go check it out, you guys. Get you some ad. Is this your first like published work in a comic, or have you done other stuff that's published?
Oh, I did a kid and a comic a while ago. I was part of that project, which is, there we go. There's the website. It's not mine. People keep thinking it's mine because it's a kid, but it's not. It's not my project.
Right.
But I was on here last year, and I got to have my comic that I created made up, and I was the only girl and the youngest person to be a part of it, which is funny. But
nice. Is there a physical copy that can be had?
Yeah, it was a newspaper. It was like trying to bring back like the funnies and such. So you could buy it as a newspaper. I believe they are still. Oh, there I am. I believe they are still printing other things. I'm not sure if the last year's issue is still available online. Possibly, I'm guessing they have an archive, but my comic was spiffy about this creature I made up, and it was just like little fun short things. Yeah, it was fun. There's some decent comic community working on this. Oh, yep, he's just wrote me and said the connection on his phone crapped out, unfortunately.
We got a question from Hazel Eyes over on Pilled. She had to drop off yesterday. She had asked a question about comic heroes of Puerto Rico. I think there are a couple of New York creators that have created Puerto Rican heroes.
You gotta stop whipping the bird.
Are they talking about Rue? I can't remember what Frank said Rue's ethnicity was.
This something we were talking about in the chat yesterday.
Okay.
I think it was on Three Beer Men. They were talking. She was asking the question.
Oh, okay.
Because we were doing they were at Steel City Comic Con yesterday. Three Beer Men last night was about going to cons and stuff. And of course, I had to be part of it because I go to cons and stuff.
This piece right here reminds me of like this. I'm pretty sure I have the poster somewhere, but like a circus poster kind of.
Right.
Yeah. Had one that you could color.
But no, Hazel Eyes, I'm not sure about it. Most of what I love is the indie stuff that's coming out right now. I'm really a big fan of independent comics, independent films, independent this and independent that, because I hate corporate everything.
Yeah.
Addie,
this keeps going on and on. Jeez, Frank.
Addie, you are more than welcome to hang out while we talk to John. John has arrived. I don't know if you know John. Do you know John?
What's his last name?
John from John's Longbox.
Oh, I've heard his name before. I don't know if we've hung out yet.
How you doing?
What's up, John?
What's up, John?
My computer decided to update now. So
Well, of
it's
course.
15, 20 minutes to update.
You can blame Crom for that. You can blame Crom for that. It's, you know.
What's going on?
Hey, we're just talking comics, brother. Addie was talking about the campaign that she's part of, which is new on Fund My Comic as well.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so this is a Fund My Comic show. We get to go talk about another one, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so of course my phone's gonna ring.
Oh,
Ghost Pepper, cover me for a minute.
Got you, brother.
all right. Well, thanks so much for having me. I'll get in touch with Frank and ask him about if there's anything he wanted me to mention for him, or if he wants to come on another time and mention something else. But yeah, thanks for having us and letting us promote our comics on here.
Yeah,
What's your
thanks
comic?
for coming on. It sounds like a real fun project, Addie. Thanks for sharing it.
Yeah. Thank you.
What's the project? I just got here. I missed it.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's super top secret. You know, that's it's a Fund My Comic. It's so The Clock, The Rise of Father Crime / Meet Major Liberty. This is something that Frank was working on. He's got an amazing artist, Dave Mowry, working on all the characters. So you can fund that on fundmycomic.com. And he has a second one, Major Liberty and Vicky the Victory Girl, also on there.
It looks like 40s inspired. Is it set in the 40s?
37, I think he said.
Is that what? Yeah.
1937, even better.
Mm-hmm.
Before World War II. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that is awesome. Are these new characters
cool
or are these
stuff.
public domain?
These are his new characters. There is one that Wombat that what did you say Mike Barron made up?
Mm-hmm.
He let Mike let him have whatever he wanted to do with the character and throw him in the comic. So he has him in a funny one for kids.
Oh, cool. They look great. Like if this is supposed to be like, you know, like golden age characters, you got the look really good.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
a big fan of
Dave's
golden age
awesome.
characters, so this is right up my alley.
Yeah, definitely check out the Fund My Comic. He's got a ton of cool promo images up, and everything.
This is live right now.
Yes. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you can choose your tier, and I believe on the Major Liberty. Oh, whoops, not the Major Liberty one. Sorry, Under the Clock. He has if you contribute with $1 minimum, you'll unlock the free comic that I did sketched. I did like a bunch of like sketches and stuff for a comic called Addie the Adventuress that he wrote. So he turned me into a superhero overnight. Frank loves making stories, and we wanted to see Bailey get powers too.
What's the name of your comic?
Oh yeah, Addie the Adventuress. It's if you contribute $1, he said that you'd unlock the free digital version of that story.
Oh,
First
cool.
one. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get your campaign right now, but
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we're just doing the thing. Hey, John, it's good to see you, bro. Good to see you.
Oh, man. I think
That's
John
why my-
first. There he is.
yeah.
So, let me see. Where are we at? What did I miss? I was on the phone.
I was just reiterating about the comics so that he
okay.
could know what was going on.
So,
And saying thanks for having me on here. I'm going to have to get going, entertain my child
okay.
and everything, but I'd like to come back soon.
You know, we may still have a Tuesday draw stream tomorrow. I'll send you the link.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Sweet. See, always good to see you, Addie.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Good night.
Right. I love that girl. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, so her campaign is on the website, but it didn't start yet.
No, it hasn't started yet.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I thought maybe something was wrong. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. But my computer's freaking up. Oh man, I look like a crazy person.
I had to put my hat on, dude. I looked at myself. I started the show and I looked at myself. I said, "Damn, your hair looks horrible." I know how that works. What is up, Dustin? Dustin, what's happening? Dustin has a show here later tonight, guys. It's freaking figures at 10:30, all about action figures and people who design them and what's out there on crowdfunding, all that stuff, right? We got some good shows on this network. Right now, we're going to talk about book two of the Heroic Tales series by my friend right here, Mr. John from John's Longbox. He said, "Don't use my last name. Nobody knows who I am anyway." John's pushing buttons. Don't push buttons, John. Just come back.
Oops.
Yep, it happens. He said he was having computer issues, so
Yeah.
sometimes people get kicked out, or my boy Crom.
Man, I tell you that Mr. Frank guy, he's full of knowledge about comics, dude. He knows all kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, there's
him and Chuck Dixon, man. They'll tell you all about some comics.
There's a lot of people in our network that are very, very knowledgeable. As a matter of fact, I know two people local to me that have comic book collections of over 70,000 comics.
Great day. How do they even know what they have?
Two people local to me that have every freaking thing. Man, it's like you just walk in their house and you just like
rooms full. Got to be with 70,000 comics. You got to have rooms full.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
and displays everywhere, and spinner racks, just everything. I'm just like, man, this is killer. Welcome back, John. Welcome back.
Uh-oh.
Come back.
Sorry.
Yeah. My wife just let me know that the power's been going out in the house, that there's been a car accident and they knocked down a pole or something. And she works from home, so she says all the power's been going on and off. So that's why my computer shut off. That explains that. And had to update.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that just lets it run constantly. So I haven't updated in months or whatever. So when I came down here and turned it on, it was like,
yeah. There's got to be, though. It's got to be. There's always got to be something, John. If we don't have obstacles to jump over and around and through, we get pretty dull. We wouldn't be sharp. we gotta have adversity to get where we're going. It's just the way
speaking of superheroes need adversity and enemies. So I got some pretty cool enemies this episode, this issue. Can I play the trailer?
Yes, do the thing, man.
Cool.
I like it.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's
like it.
That's my trailer, and this is going to be the cover. So I have to explain this a little bit because a couple of people are getting confused. There's two covers on each comic. So if you buy the comic, the front cover and the back cover are both covers. It's a flip book. So this illustration will explain it. So if you get the comic, it's going to look like this.
Right.
So when you read the Patriarch story, it's going to read fine. And then all of a sudden, it's going to be the Mary Sue story. It's going to be upside down. Well, you flip the comic book over, you start all over again. So it's I could gouge everybody and make 4 different comics, and you're paying $10 for another cover, but you get the same insides. So, but I also felt bad because the comic is split between the Patriarch and Mary Sue, and I'm like, they both deserve a cover. I love both of these characters, so this I thought an equitable solution. So
hey, we love flip books, man.
Right. So you're going to get a 40-page comic book with 2 covers. This has got to be the best deal in crowdfunding. Look at these covers. You're going to get Renzo over here drawing the Patriarch fighting the Subterranean, and then you're going to get, Mary Sue. You're going to see all of her, adventures on the cover. I love this cover. I can't believe I'm a part of this.
Yeah, I love flip books, man. They've been part of comics since I was a kid. Remember the digest size ones that were like long? Yep. I mean, they were like long stories, like 60 pages, and then you flipped it over and you had another 60 pages.
Yep.
And from the backside, it was like they were like digest size comic books. They were cool, man.
Yeah. So and then this is the I'll show this. This is the variant cover. So Josh Howard is drawing Mary Sue because he draws the cutest girls. And then Jose Garcia is drawing the Patriarch of the Subterranean because he draws the trippiest things. And that's one of the Subterranean's powers is when you hit them, these mushroom spores come out and you start to hallucinate. So I had to get guys with talents that suited that. So this is great. I love this. And then I don't know if you know Lady Alchemy, Martina Marcota. I just sent her a T-shirt and I was like, "Would you pose so I could sell some T-shirts?" And people like, "Dude, that's got to be a cosplay cover." So we're working on the cosplay. This is a placeholder to let you know it's coming, because literally we only got the pictures like 3 or 4 days ago, like the day before the campaign launched. So I got to get that cover made up. But his interior art, some lovey-dovey's going on. Nothing explicit. Just suggested. His Mary Sue story. I love this because I told Renzo it's going to be Kirby Crackle, and he's like, okay, and he nailed it. He knows exactly what Kirby Crackle is.
Yeah.
So
you better know if you're a comic artist.
So there's 2 stories. Both of them involve family in different ways. I'm starting to realize that families is going to be like a theme throughout most of the characters. Mary Sue's family is a very tight. Mary Sue's a 3rd-generation Chinese immigrant. Her grandparents were born in Mao Zedong, China, and they fled persecutions because they were Roman Catholics. They didn't want to convert. So they came to America as literal penniless refugees, and now Mary Sue is born into wealth. Her family's, rags to riches kind of story. So Mary Sue is perfect, and that's where do you go when you're already perfect? Well, you become perfect-er. and all the troubles with basically being the most powerful. I mean, she is the most powerful, but there's 2 things that hinder her. She doesn't know the consequences of her powers, and at this point, she doesn't know she has powers. So I'm kind of playing on the idea. Like everybody started telling me I'm into comic books, and then the Infinity Gauntlet came out and everybody was like, Scarlet Witch is the most powerful. She can beat that and blah, blah, blah. And everybody's telling me about Scarlet Witch. I'm like, dude, I've been reading about Scarlet Witch for 40 years and now you're the expert. So Mary Sue is kind of like my response to people that are going to talk about tell me about comic book characters that I've been reading about for 30, 40 years.
Yeah, it's like when that Agatha Harkness and all that came out, I was like, you guys don't know who Agatha Harkness was. She was a bitter old crone, man. She wasn't no looking nothing. Come on, man.
Right.
Come on.
Agatha Harkness made Aunt May look hot.
Right. Agatha was Franklin's nanny, Franklin Richards, right? And that's how Wanda that's how that Avengers and Fantastic Four crossover, that was what it was centered around. Franklin Richards. Man, we read all these books. We know who these characters are. Quit making stupid shows that don't represent who they were.
Yeah. Well, they saw Girl Witchy, and so they just made a Girl Witchy show that had nothing to do with the comic characters.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Yep. So I got the typical tiers here, a digital bundle, both issue 1 and issue 2. You know, a regular cover, the Renzo cover, I call it $10. The variant cover, the Josh and Jose cover, $10. The cosplay cover is $10. You know, I'm not out to gouge anybody. You know,
Right.
The bundle get both covers, $20. You know, of course I got to charge you shipping, and then issue 1 and issue 2 bundle, and then add-ons. So once you buy something else, you could go to the add-ons, and the difference with the add-ons is it's reduced shipping because you're already paying for the shipping, so it's just, you know, reduced shipping. So you could get covers of your choice for issue 1. You know, extra cover, extra comics. You know, if you want 5 copies, I don't want you paying shipping 5 times. That's not right. Again, I'm not out to gouge anybody.
Right.
You know, a pint glass. These coins that I made. I love coins, so I want to make a coin for all the characters. When you know, I love these symbols. I designed these symbols, so I'm pretty proud of them. I want to make coins, T-shirts. You know, that's one of my things. When you have a superhero, it's got to look good on a T-shirt.
I like the shirt, the cape look on the back of it.
Yeah,
nice freaking design, John.
Isn't that awesome? And I want to say this: I've been married 22 years. Whenever I wear this shirt, my wife goes, "You look good in that shirt. That shirt is very slimming."
See, I can wear that because it's Vikings colors, bro. It's purple and gold. I'm like, yeah, it looks good. It's got a superhero cape and it's purple and gold. Yeah.
And then here's the Mary Sue cover, our T-shirt rather. I'm pretty proud of this symbol that I came up with. That's her science club. You know, she's Mary Sue is perfect, but perfect is a subjective term. So she's perfect in the eyes of her grandmother. So she's a good girl, meaning she doesn't fool around. She doesn't drink. She's got multiple PhDs at the age of 22. You know, so when she was in college, she was teased because she wasn't drinking and partying and stuff. So she found a group of scientists that were Christian, not Christian scientists. That's a different group, but scientists who were like religious Christians. So she joined them, and they called themselves the St. Thomas Society. You know, I always like St. Thomas. He's my favorite of the apostles because he's like, I need proof, guys. And that's the way I am. I need proof, you know. So that's what the symbol is the eyes looking at the wounds of Jesus. So that's the shirt that she wears for good luck. And then when she got her powers wearing that shirt, that became part of her costume. So that explains it. And of course, my computer's freezing because why not? And then the last thing is I got 7 cards that I had for stretch goals for my first campaign. Well, now you could buy them 7 cards for $10. Again, I'm not out to gouge anybody. You could buy a pack of Heroic Tales 1 cards. Heroic Tales 2, I'm actually making 20 cards. I got a little carried away. And I was going to release a card for every $1,000. So we haven't hit the first stretch goal card yet. And I guess when I do Heroic Tales 3, I'll have 3 bundles, you know, the bundle A, bundle B, whatever. But, okay. Everything's unfroze. So here we got the card pack. And then original art by Renzo. You know, these are obviously one of a kind. So these are my computer keeps freezing. I'm sorry. These are original art by Renzo. This is Mal. She's one of Boss Boxy's hench girls. Everybody seemed to like her, the hot redhead. So I had no, like, when I put it in the script, I just said he has 3 hench girls: a hot redhead, a hot blonde, and a hot black girl. And that's it. That's about all the thought that I put. And Renzo, of course, made them cool. And everybody was like, "What's with this redhead? What's with this?" So now, of course, I'm giving her a story. I think the Patriarch's going to spin off into his own comic, and I think she's going to have like a backup, and it's going to be horrific. She's a piece of work. I'll leave it at that. Here's Dr. Robug. This is from Coney Waves. This is Renzo's art. You know, this is Mark Polton's book, but why not? It's Renzo's work. We'll send. I don't know where this is from, but this is some vampire getting stabbed and some hot chick. I thought it was, but it's not. And then this is like some like cutesy samurai animals that Renzo drew. He could change his style. He is so good. More Renzo artwork. I got plenty of Renzo artwork. And then these cute girl sketches, a fairy girl sketches with the little not safe for work black dot on it. And that's the campaign. Not too complicated. Not too complicated. So,
cool. So John.
Yeah.
Your first campaign, you did really well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this one's going to do well as well.
I hope so. Better.
Yeah. Have you had a lot of? Have you had any new backers, like getting 1 and 2, or is it pretty much so far return?
Let's take a look. Let's answer your question. By far, the Renzo cover seems to be the most popular, and then the 1 and 2, I got 5 backers, so I assume 5 new backers. Yeah. A lot of people are telling me they'll wait until after April 15th. You know, yes. a couple of people, you know, I just think it's funny because the stocks all dipped. Well, the stocks all dipped in the past 4 years also, but we weren't told to panic. But now the newspapers don't like the current administration, so we're told to panic. So everybody's not, you know, going out and backing comic books right now. Everybody across the board is having a hard time, you know. But I have to just laugh. Like guys at work, like, do you realize 2 years ago the stocks dipped, you know, just like this, you know, and you weren't told to panic, so you didn't even notice. But anyway.
Yeah. I was just going to say also, people pulling their money from the stock market is not people losing money.
Right.
I want people to understand that, because a whole bunch of people that are pulling their money because people do that in uncertain times.
Right.
When they don't. Stock market's based on futures, people. It's based on what people foresee is going to happen. When they don't know what's going to happen, they yank their money out of the market. They put it in bonds. They put it in things that are more stable. That's all.
Right. It's and really like I said, because you know, we got a 401k at work, and all the guys are like, my 401k. I said, well, good, because now whatever you're buying right now is going to expand into a lot more when it rebounds. Or what do you think? This is the end of the world? Knock it off. You know, but anyway, that's about as political as I want to get. But
well, to me, that wasn't even political. That was just basic economics, right. People. You know.
But I got to say, like the first issue, you know, I pulled it back because it was world building the comic, so I scaled it back and just laser focused on the patriarch. But now that I got it was hard. It was really difficult to me because I just wanted to hit the ground running and start like telling everybody about this world and everything like that. But, you know, how do you compromise it? So I just told a personal day, you know, story of the patriarch. And then I told a story about a character who will be showing up. Actually, you see him right here. In issue 1, you saw the suit. Well, this is him. He's the mayor of Science City. He's a bad guy. But he's a bad guy. The patriarch knows he's a bad guy. He knows the patriarch knows that he knows that he's a bad guy, but you can't just go and beat up the mayor. You know, it's the Superman Lex Luthor dynamic. And if you know anything about me, you know the politicians are always bad guys. So he can't just come down from the sky and beat up Lucius Kane. He's got to wait for the perfect opportunity. It's only going to backfire. And Lucius Kane right here, a little boy fell into a sinkhole, you know, and as you can see, the patriarch has been pleasantly distracted with his wife all night. So everybody's at the news site, and Lucius Kane's going, where's the patriarch? Well, you know, he's just trying to drum up bad publicity, and patriarch shows up, and they're like, oh, where were you? This kid's been in this well for like 12 hours. You know, patriarch's like, well, I was distracted. You know, and can't admit what he was doing. and the story ensues from there. It goes underground. There's caverns, you know, starting to expand the world of my world. And then as you can see, the other story is Mary Sue. The brilliant Mary Sue is recruited out of college to work for another bad guy. Another, you know, he's the bad businessman, Philip Manning. He's more Lex Luthor. He's the businessman. Lucius Kane is like the bad politician. And Lucius Kane, Philip Manning, he doesn't like that he's a normal person in a world with superheroes. Like, to me, I always thought Lex Luthor, wouldn't you think Lex Luthor would use all his resources to give himself superpowers? You know, if everybody's like falling down and learning how to transmute molecules and shoot lightning bolts and throw tanks, Lex Luthor would want that too. So that's what Philip Manning is. So unbeknownst to Mary Sue, she's working for a supervillain to discover how superpowers work. And they have a breakthrough. But of course, he's impatient, so they bypass safety protocols. Mary Sue is a good girl. She's like, I'm not going to do this. We're bypassing, and hijinks ensue, and monsters show up, and everything's bad. So how's that?
Perfect.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's a fun story. I'm real proud of it. Issue 3 of Heroic Tales is going to have the second part of Mary Sue's story, because it pretty much ends with her in the hospital bed. It's going to have the ramifications of her using her powers. She doesn't know she has powers. And she doesn't know her powers are vast. She could, rewrite possibilities, like the wings of, what do they call that? The butterfly effect.
Right.
So if she saves Pops from, say, falling off a building, does that mean somebody else took his place? Does that mean, everything's cooled? So once she finds out about her powers, you'll see in the next issue, she's very reluctant to use them. So just imagine that you're super powerful, but you're not afraid to use your powers. You're just like, is this worth it? Is this, what would be the outcome? Like if you went back in time and stopped Hitler, would the world be better off today or worse today? Would something else have happened? Would there have been a worse madman? Would there have been another excuse for a war? We don't know. On the surface, you're like, yeah, let's take out Hitler, but and then you come back and it's a nuclear holocaust or something like that. Yeah, who knows? So there you go. What do you think of that?
Well, just like I was from the beginning before your first issue, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, cool.
I will be jumping in here at some point. I got a little. Pops is a broke ass, dude. Nothing's changed over here. If I'm lucky if I got $10 to throw around, But when I do, I do.
Well, you got 4 months, I think.
That's what I said. I got a little time. I'm not tripping on it, but I would definitely be this one.
Yeah, I got 110 days to go, so till July 26th, and then I think July 26th, I'm going to launch on Kickstarter. As much as I spoke to Luke Stone and I asked him, would he be upset? And Luke is a professional. He goes, John, you got to chase that money.
Yeah.
I did $1,000 on Kickstarter. I'm not big enough to turn away $1,000.
I tell everybody, put your book everywhere.
Right. I'm not using Indiegogo. I was not happy with the service. I'm being shadow banned. I had 10 customers. You know what I mean? And they're taking 5% and then shadow banning me. It's like, how dare you? I turned it to Greta Thunberg. How dare you?
They did it to Doc. They did it to Doc in pre-sign up. They shadow banned him before he even launched. Stephen B. They shadow banned him before he even launched. It was something that look. Mark Ditko, Steve's nephew, just launched a collection of Steve's old stuff. Mr. A and a couple other ones, the World Avengers.
Oh, cool.
Stuff like that, right? And just launched it today on Indiegogo. And I was like, damn it, but I'm still going to promote the hell out of it because man, the Ditko estate deserves to get something.
Well don't, it's not. There's nothing wrong with promoting a campaign that you like, regardless of the, you know what I mean? You're promoting Mark Ditko. You're not promoting Indiegogo. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. Like, I don't like Indiegogo, but Pops, if you had an Indiegogo campaign, I'm cheering you on because it's you.
And we are going to have Mark out on the show, on a show here, a special. We're going to set up a special edition. We're going to get Mark Ditko out here.
Oh, I would love to get him too, man. I'm a big Steve Ditko fan. Yeah,
I'll make it happen as long as you don't do it before I do.
No. You got to be respectful. You got to be respectful.
Or we could simulcast to both channels at the same time, and you could join me and co-host the show.
Well, the object is to get him publicity. So he does your show, he does my show, then do all of them. You know what I mean? I'm not greedy.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. I love that people that we can all pass people on to each other. I say like
it's a network, we all got to scratch each other's backs. You know what I mean?
It's like passing. I tell them this, like, we're gonna pass you around now. Sometimes like a doobie. Okay, we're gonna pass you from guy to guy to guy and get you on as many shows as we can. And that's, I mean, I've been doing that for a long time. But he, one of the Silverline guys, talked to him at WonderCon and told him, you need to talk to Pops and get, and so here we go. It's on me now to make sure this guy gets seen everywhere. So yes, I'm definitely gonna, hook you up with him. I did do a press release for it, and I'm pretty sure his contact info is on that. So I mean, pretty much everybody can find it. It's not like it's hidden information or anything. Yeah, if you run a show and you want to help promote Mark Ditko's new campaign, which is, I think it's 4 of Steve's old creations, 4 different books that you can get. They're like $8 each or something. And it's like, man, I haven't really had a time to deep dive the campaign yet, but I was like, yeah, guys, come on. You gotta network and promote and collaborate and do all them things to help each other grow. You have to, Damn, I watched your channel take off, John. I mean, you started and you nailed some serious killer guests right away, and your channel took off, and I was like, yeah, I like it, and then you started doing games and stuff, and we love doing games and stuff. So I see you demoing games, and I'm like, we demo games. It's like there's enough in common between what you do and what we do that I want to work with you.
I know you're a D&D guy too.
Oh yeah. And
I've been telling people that my comic is a superheroes, Dungeons and Dragons with a touch of Lovecraft. Now, and you could if you really study, you could see the Dungeons and Dragons influence. I mean, this monster is right out of D&D. I had a couple people guess what monster that was inspired by, and then you got the Subterranean, and you can see right over here there's mushroom type people inspired from the Fiend Folio. Those mushroom people, so there's D&D. Matter of fact, he's going on a dungeon crawl in this. He's going literally on a dungeon crawl in this adventure underneath Science City. So yeah.
Nice.
And I think the patriarch number 4 is going to be his family playing Dungeons and Dragons. So all of my nerdy little hobbies mixed together.
And see, and that's how it is, right? So, look, people, you got to go check out Heroic Tales 2. If you didn't get one, you got to get that while you're there. Get them both.
Yep, there's a tier. And again, I'm not overcharging anybody. I'm not trying to gouge anybody. My goal, this is the way it works for me, is each issue sets the budget for the following issue. Issue 1, I laid out all the money out of my own pocket, and then I kept that money in an account to use for issue 2. So that's what I'm trying to do. So right now, issue 3 is only going to be $1,000 budget. So let's get that budget a little higher so I could, make the comic bigger and bigger and better. But I'm able to make this exactly what I wanted. Although this one, I'm a little wiser. I knew what I needed. Some people I shouldn't have hired for the first issue. It didn't work out. We had to start all over again. You know how it is,
Yes.
But now I got the Avengers assembled. We got the A team going, and everything's firing on all cylinders. Just look at that cover. Look at the colors.
Yeah.
That looks awesome.
It's fantastic.
Thank you.
It is.
Does his shipping? John.
Who does my shipping? Me.
John does his shipping.
I was going to go with RJ from Critical Blast, and I would like to be successful enough to have to use RJ from Critical Blast. Right. He's been essential, though. I called him up and we talked, and he told me how to do everything. And but I first off, for 2 reasons, I did the shipping for myself. Second off, I wasn't that successful that I you can always use the fulfillment service. And RJ's professional. He'll have everything out in a couple of days. The whole thing will be done, no problem. But I messed up a few things. I had stuff sent to my house first because I didn't know any better. So then I paid for it to be shipped to my house, then I have to pay for it to be shipped to RJ. Right. So I kind of messed up. Second off, I kind of wanted to do it all by myself from soup to nuts, just at least on one campaign.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And we talked about that. You're like, I want to do it first before I pass it off.
Right.
And I want you to have so many backers that you
absolutely. So that is my goal. My I was talking about the money goals, but we have to talk about money. Let's be realistic. But my goal that I want one more backer than I had on my campaign last year. So between all three platforms, I had 300 backers. So my goal is 301 backers. And as you can see, I'm not starting off as strong. Like I had like about 109 backers, I think, in 24 hours in the last campaign. So I'm falling a little short of my goal. So I'm hoping we pick up. I'm hoping after taxes or whatever. I'm hoping in a couple of weeks when these tariff things realize that we're not really destroying the economy. Elon Musk isn't stealing your money, ladies and gentlemen. we just get these foreign countries to stop, inflating their prices at the cost of American workers. It just gets me mad. I'm a blue collar union electrician, and we used to be guys who wanted tariffs back, when I joined. And now that we got them, all of a sudden they're bad. And I'm like, guys, don't we want to combat the slave labor in China? And I just I go, isn't Trump an ex-Democrat? Isn't Elon Musk an ex-Democrat? Isn't Tulsi Gabbard an ex-Democrat? Isn't RFK an ex? I said, this is a Democratic administration, and you Democrats hate them all. How far left do the Democrats have to get?
It's true. It's true.
But anyway, again, I got too political. But anyway,
that time you did, but I'll let it go because I agree with you. I mean, but beside the point, comic books, people, tariffs aren't going to affect things that much.
Nick of Time, my buddy Nick of Time over here says, how long did it take you to save enough money to hire people or make your first book? I can't answer that question because I have a pretty good job. I'm in my 50s. I bought a cheap house. I did the work myself. You know what I mean? My wife has a job. We don't have any kids. So how long did it take me to do it? Probably longer to take you, Nick, because I know you're a young kid in your 20s. And you know what I mean? And like I had a couple of guys that lowballed me money. I said, no, I'm paying you more than that because that's ridiculous. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. But
I know. I know about that too.
You know what I mean? So like I said, no, I'm paying you this. They're like, really? Like the guy who, Luke built my webpage for me. He sent me a bill. I said, get rid of that bill. I'm going to add more money to it. You worked hard and I drove you nuts. So he was like, wow. I was like, so because I'm in a position, it cost me like $6,000 to make my first comic. I had that money because I saved up. I'm in my 50s. I don't know, Nick. Could you save up $6,000 and potentially lose it? Because I could have lost it. Could have lost it just as easy.
Yeah.
And then I hired people that were, luckily, one guy I got the feeling that he was a scam artist, and I figured it out before I paid him. I got a couple of buddies that are making comics, and they paid for art up front, and then never saw the art. That's another tip, Nick. I pay per page. I hire Pops. Pops draws me a page. He sends it to me. Okay, we got to change this. We got to change that. Oh, this is perfect. Boom. 2 days later, he sends it back to me with the corrections. Perfect. I pay right then and there. Matter of fact, my colorist got a little mad at me because not my colorist. Yeah, my colorist got mad at me because he likes to get paid every 5 pages, but I've been paying him every page. And he's like, John, you're paying me too fast. I'm like, well, it's better than paying you too late, right? You know what I mean? But I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like to have bills on his head. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm the same way, bro.
Man, I don't like owing people money.
Nope.
Right. And believe it or not, it's a small enough circle that a reputation. Don't work for Bua. He's he takes forever to pay or something. You don't want that. Yep. You don't want that.
Yep, so, word of mouth will go a whole lot faster than anything you can imagine.
I bought this book. I bought a blank notebook, and anytime I pay anything, I put the date, I put who it was that I paid, what I paid for. If you're paying $20,000, man, I'll work for you.
Hell yeah, I'll draw something.
He plans on saving at least 20 before he does it.
If you need $20,000 to make a comic book, that's great, but that's too much. That's too much.
Yeah, you don't need that much unless you're really like if you're going for like the marketing campaign that's going to sell thousands of copies.
Yeah, I mean that would be like figurines and everything to go along with it, right? I mean, 20 grand, you could do everything.
When I talk about, I spent about $6. I also bought way too many coins. I bought way too many pint glasses. You know what I mean? So I went all, but I still have that stuff. Right. You know, like I got stacks and stacks of cards right here that I could. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that I could, I'm hoping when I get to like around 6 issues, I could open up a storefront. You know, maybe go on Amazon with a trade paperback. You know. Go to conventions.
You can open a storefront on Fund My Comic right now for.
Oh yeah, I do have a storefront, but I was thinking of like my own heroic tale.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And once you have your own website, we'll add that to the Madness website because you do contribute content to our network. If you guys don't know, every Saturday night we pick something from John's week because John has a lot of stuff. And
it's funny, Pops. I got calls from friends that didn't know anything about it. They're like, "This other website is showing all your stuff." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's Pops. He's cool. He asked me about it. We work together. You know." Yeah. Oh, okay.
We're just trying to get people seen, brother. And so obviously somebody's seen.
People watched your channel, then.
Well, I mean, we want people to watch yours. Yeah. That's the whole point, you know. It's like to grow your channel, grow our channel, bounce audiences off each other is really how you grow. You know. And it works wonderfully. But yeah, just hearing that makes me go right on. That means people are watching. And they're seeing what we do. You know, not everything we do is somebody's replay. We have a lot of like this right here, our own original content. But John does a lot of stuff, and it's hard to watch everything John does on his channel. So I pick one thing that I think is pertinent. But you know, usually it's an interview with the creator. But like his launch party the other night, I made sure we replayed the next night on our channel.
I've been slacking with the interviews with people. I used to go hard trying to find big names. I kind of stopped for like a couple of months because I was focusing on my comic, but I got to get back into it. It's fun. I kind of miss it. Although Wednesday I have Dan Fraga on, so that's pretty cool.
But you also do like game demos and stuff. Like I said, there's always something I can pick from your week of programming to play on Saturday night. You know, it's like. That's what it's about, guys. It's like I'm not trying to steal John's content, or I would have went to John. Hey, man, let me have all your stuff. No, I was like, can I replay one of your shows every week? You know, we replayed Chuck Dixon's. I've got the same thing. Somebody jumped on me about you can't replay Chuck's stuff. He hates that. Yeah, but Chuck's part of the network. You know?
Chuck is cool.
You know, so I can play Chuck's show. It is.
Did you bring up Nick's comment here on the bottom? I want to help Nick out because Nick's a good guy. I was calculating 5,000 for drawer for artists, inker, and colorist each. I will say this: the actual artist. So Renzo does the layouts. He does the pencils and he does the inking. Now, so of course he's going to make more money. He's doing more than anybody else. But you know, I also recommend get a good letterer. You know, it's a trade in itself, and people will a good letterer will make or break your comic. So
people got to be able to read.
Don't get screwed. You know, if you got a guy that could do the inking, you know what I mean. That'll be good because you'll get a deal. You know, like if you could get a handyman to come to your house who does the electrical and plumbing, it's cheaper than getting a plumber and electrician kind of thing. So. You know, and if he could also color, you know, that is awesome. But when you're ready to do your comic, make sure you get people reading your scripts. You know, and you got to harden your heart a little bit. Like a couple of people ripped my original script apart, and I get mad because I'm a genius and nobody understands me. But they were absolutely 100% right. You know, and you know what you also do? Get people who aren't into comics to read your script, and once it's drawn, have somebody who does, like my wife reads my scripts, and all I just asked her, does it make sense? Like, can you follow along the story? Because one of the things that I think is the biggest thing that hurts crowdfunded comics is storytelling. And when I say storytelling, I'm not meaning the story itself. I'm not talking about the writing. I'm talking about how the static images moved from this panel to this panel in a consistent panel that doesn't cause dissonance in the brain. It's almost supposed to be like storyboarded, and like it just made it work. Like John Byrne is a master. Will Eisner is a master. Howard Chaykin is probably the worst storytelling artist ever. You can't tell his stories from unless you read the words. Like Jack Kirby, you could take all the words out of a Jack Kirby comic and still figure out what's going on. That's what I'm talking about, storytelling. So that's my biggest. So I had a couple of people criticize my comic. One of them was pretty nasty, basically doesn't like me. That's what can you do? But every one of them, even the people who didn't like me, said that the story made sense and they could follow along. So, you know what I mean?
It's a good book. I read it. I like it.
Like whether, whatever you want. I don't like the character. Everybody liked the art. Everybody liked the coloring. Everybody liked the lettering. I'm the weak link here. The story or me, myself, whatever. But also, and Nick, this is super important. When you get your comp out, don't get involved in all of this online drama. Yeah. Just make it about the comic. Talk about your comic. And don't pretend you know more than you do. People catch that on really quick. You could tell the coffee just kicked in while I was talking. And how you doing, Christopher Brown? I'm sorry you popped in and I was ranting.
That's okay, man. That's what we're here for, baby.
Nick, don't apologize. Nick's a good guy. Nick of time.
Yeah, Nick's good. He's actually been coming out to some of the draw streams.
Oh, cool.
Hanging out.
Yeah, he's trying to look. Yeah, he's coming. He's a guy that just got into comics and he's learning how to draw. So I'm kind of interested in seeing, like, 10 years from now, I could be like, that guy's been on my channel when he was nobody.
Yep. And now Chris this morning launched the expansion packs for Slaughterville, which basically give you everything you would get with the director's cut box.
Yeah.
But it's broken down so you can buy one location at a time. You get different
pick
characters.
And choose, baby.
Dude, you tell them. What am I telling them for? I'm gonna shut up. You tell them.
No, yeah, it's absolutely the a la carte kind of a deal for horror, right? It's you can pick and choose any of our different villains, and they come with a location and a set of 3 characters, and you can just drop them into any Slaughterville game you got. And yeah, I just wanted to make this as user friendly to grab it as possible. And I pray I did that. And we did fund. We're a little over 2,100, so we're in the comfy zone now. I have people messaging me right now. Swear to God, I just got another message, and it's like, how can I get this? Can I get a giant box? So I'm like, I will look into getting you a giant box. So,
I just got.
But I absolutely agree. Please go ahead. I'm sorry.
I got attacked by a munchkin from behind.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I absolutely agree. Don't get into the drama. It is not worth it. It is a short-term gain, long-term loss kind of a deal.
Yeah.
Move on from it, honest to God. That's just... But I mean, I'm not your dad. You do you.
Wise words, though, Mr. Chris. Wise words. Yes.
These people that don't make comics and just harvest drama, if you react to them, they just put you on their channel and make fun of you. They don't care whether they're right or wrong. So once you're defending yourself, you're just their content. Don't give them content.
Yeah.
Well, we've had we have certain people that like come out of the woodwork like once a year to try to rain on the fact that we're growing and getting bigger and getting better, and it makes them mad. So they come out every now and then and they try to drop shade on us, but we just keep going forward. We launched this earlier today.
Yeah, 2 hours. Funded in 2 hours.
Yeah. Funded in 2 hours for the villains, locations, and characters. And this, dude, this, like I said, it's all the mini expansion packs, so you can keep adding to your base Slaughterville game. It's awesome.
Nice.
Come
Okay,
here,
but
boy.
yeah, it's something I've been working on. This is, like I said, this is officially the 10-year anniversary of Slaughterville. So if you like horror adventure games, yeah, this is going to be your thing. You can get, I think we have 12 different villains and location combos on there, and it's my hope that you have as much fun telling the stories here as I did making them. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense anyway.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you're not having fun doing what you do, then why do it, right? I mean,
Exactly.
there you go.
Exactly.
I mean, and I can just see it in the way you present this, that you had so much fun doing it. You want us to have as much fun as you did playing it while you made it. This is such a great concept. It really is.
I have always said.
I was gonna say I already have the director's cut and pretty much everything except this pumpkin guy right here. So I just threw some
nobody
money
has
at
him.
him to get him because I wanted him to be over. I wanted him to get fun.
Yep, nobody has the pumpkin fiend yet except me. He's sitting over here finishing up testing. I should have him finalized this week, which will be well before we need to go to print. But everything else at the printer, all I got to do, hit print, tell them to go, get it done and get it sent to me. And it's printed in the US, so it'll only take a couple of weeks to get here. Should be anyway. Yeah, I'm just pretty excited about it.
It's awesome. Hazel Eyes, we love you. We're glad you're watching on Build. I'm not used to following all these chats, and it's like it's new to me. So I'm like dropping over here and then back over to YouTube and then over to Rumble and then you know what I mean. I'm trying to keep everything, but we do love you, and because Kaz hasn't given me that cool plug-in so I can show the pinned comments on screen. I can't share your comments like he can, but eventually I will be able to.
What we got to do, Kaz, to get one. Let's go. I'll help.
I am working on it. I promise you. We will upgrade this show. But yeah, you can see there's, every pack comes with all the stuff needed for that particular game, just within right here, the forest, which is kind of exactly what we're playing right now on the RPG game. On Thursdays, we're playing this storyline. So, it all crosses over with each other. It all interacts. But these are all locations. We've done this one live. We played this one.
Yeah, we played that villain. But yeah, I mean, we played it in the RPG where this is for the tabletop board game.
Right. And the Cannibal Rednecks is the graphic novel.
That's
the second graphic novel from the Slaughterville universe. But you can play it now. You can go play it there, right? The Carnival, one of my favorites. Dante works there in the off season. Okay. New stuff, the Contagion. There's just all kinds of stuff. Man, Dream Demon, which is Freddy. Basically it's Freddy. Headless Horseman, the Asylum location. Yes, I know all about that. That's where our journey began. All right. And then we're here.
That's where Dante.
Where you can become a character. In Slaughter.
Yeah, if you want to be a character in the game, we have a way to make that happen. We have a tier for that. Gosh, I bet you honestly, probably a third of the characters are backer characters where they wanted to be in it. So I'm like, sure, let's do this. Which that always makes me feel better about it. That people like it.
You got the Jack the Ripper story. You got the serial killer story. The Slasher, which just happens to be that lovely book that I'm proofreading right now. Really good stuff, guys. Come on. The Zombie Horde, which is a little different, but I mean, it's still Slaughterville. It's still the same game, but it has a couple different components to it, to the game itself. And then that full set, you can get it all, guys. All the
10% off.
Everything. You
Yep.
can become a character. You can become a character.
You know, that's a fantastic idea. That's like a band, like incorporating the audience in the song type of thing, you know, and it gets the crowd so much more hype and feel like they were a part of the thing, you know. So this is such a great idea.
You can see people playing the board game. You can see people playing the board game. We played the board game. We played Gods of Metal. We played all these games live on the network. We've played them all, guys. Chris's games are awesome. They have layers. John, when you play a game, you appreciate the fact that you can pick that box up again and know you're not going to play the same game. Huh?
Is this a role-playing game or like a board game?
A board game.
Oh, cool.
This one's the board game. Yep. Even though I do have the Slaughterville role-playing game, which you can pick up here, and that's what we play on Thursdays with Dustin, Levi, Kitty. God, why is my brain freezing? Of course, Dante's there.
Props.
John. Yep.
Yeah. We got like 7 people playing that game. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But this is the board game.
And then John, we have the novels.
John demos a lot of board games.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay.
When you're playing a game, you like to know it's not going to be the same game when you pick it up and play it again, right?
There's nothing worse than a game on rails. You know, you got to do the same thing.
Chris's games all have layers upon layers to them. You'll never play the same game, dude. It's killer. I love it. And the Gods of Metal game is
that's a good deck builder.
Yeah, it's a deck building game, and you're building the game that will whoop. Oh man, do I have it handy? I probably don't have it handy.
Mr. John?
Yeah.
Mr.
Did you
Chris
watch
Cale, I was going to say Mr.
Yes, Chris Cale is in
Five Finger Death Punch. He actually endorsed the game and has a card in Gods of Metal.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, he said he wanted to be put in there, so I'm like, well, of course. Yeah.
Do like Five Finger Death Punch? Yes.
Hell yeah. But did you ever watch Dice Tower back in the day?
I had Tom Vassell on my channel.
Oh,
I had
nice.
Sam on my channel, and I had that what's his name, the retro board gamer on my channel. I've met I've been to Dice Tower Con like 5 times. Yeah, so yes, I think I know a thing or two about the Dice Tower.
Good. Well, I was gonna say Sam reviewed Slaughterville for me. Said his kids kept asking him to play it, so I thought it was pretty neat.
Yeah, Sam's cool. Yeah, he's been on my channel.
He is a trip.
Yeah, I like Sam.
Yeah, now, you may recognize those two. You may recognize those 2 people right there on that particular graphic. Dante and Karen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
The siren is me, Miss Carrie. That the fire truck's going off here. Let me mute.
Oh, I was hoping it was a tornado. No, I'm kidding.
Tornadoes are bad. Okay.
We're not afraid. We're not afraid of sirens, Chris. It's okay. But yeah, this is the RPG that we play every Thursday on the network. And of course, there's Dante and Karen, who have taken on a life of their own, and they host a show here on the network called Killer Karen. And if you have not seen it, you need to watch it because it is hilarious. We are in character, the characters we created in the game. Okay, it's not Pops and Lori, it's Dante and Karen. And it's hilarious. We have a lot of fun doing it. And anybody that wants to be interviewed by Karen, and Chris will tell you, it's a unique experience. Just hit us up, man. We love to have people on the show, but we encourage them to watch it first because it's not a regular interview show. You're being interviewed by characters. Okay, it's like backwards fourth wall stuff.
Best viewers on steamboo.com. Remove the space. I love it.
Yeah, the only people we got watching on Twitch are the ones that want us to buy viewers. Why don't you just share our stream? Why don't you just share our stream, dude, girl, whoever you are? Why don't you just share our stream? That might help us get more viewers over there.
Get him, spam bot.
I know. I hate it.
Twitch is kind of AIDS, but whatever.
So there you have it, people. We have all kinds of good stuff going on here. 2 campaigns getting ready to launch on Fund My Comic. One that just launched on Fund My Comic. One that just launched on Kickstarter. Get your games, get your books, get your fun stuff. Just tune in, man. Tune in over here. We'll have it for you somehow or another. We'll be talking about it.
I gotta go. I'm gonna be on another channel. I gotta keep promoting. So thanks a lot.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna go on Yang's channel. You know Yang?
All right, cool. All
right. See you. Thank you, everybody.
See you, Johnny.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks for coming, John. For real. Good stuff, bro.
That's how it is, people. That's how it is. So, Chris.
Yes, what can I do for you?
We've been did this a few times now. I think this is the first time we funded right away, and you get to have fun promoting for the next 30 days as opposed to wondering if it's going to fund.
Right?
Isn't it? Is this kind of like the first time it's like just bang right away out the box?
For when we're doing it, yep. I've had the other. Let me see you want to see the firemen outside? All right, fine. I'll make sure they take their shirts off. But no, yeah, I've had them fund before because, like I said, I've been doing this for a little while. And
what's up, Christian?
And yeah, this is the first I've had fund almost instantly in a long time. So that's pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about it.
It was sweet.
Now I get to look at what can I add to this to make. Why stop it, dear Lord?
But yeah. Let us brainstorm on that later. What kind of we can decide what kind of we can add some stretch goals to this and figure out what kind of stuff we want to reward people with to continue back in this one.
Yep. Right? I think one of the things is going to try to get that bigger box in at least as big as I can get it for everybody. It won't be the coffin box, of course. I can't get that, but I will do my absolute level best to get you what you need.
So want to make a network announcement. That guy right there and Kitty from Flip City will be co-hosting, alternating, whatever, just trying to make sure that there's somebody there drawing or doing something artsy at the beginning of the Sunday draw stream, so that we have somebody there doing something artsy at the beginning of the draw stream. Basically, they signed on to help co-host to make sure the show doesn't just fall upon the wayside, because you guys know I don't draw. Look, if I could draw, I'd come out here, I'd start the show drawing, and people would join me, and it'd be fun. But I don't draw. And so if there's nobody out here drawing, it's like me talking. No, not by myself. I don't do that. So I need an artist to be out here when the show starts with me. That's all. And Christian said that Christian and Kitty say that between the two of them, we will make sure the Sunday draw stream goes on. So thank you, Christian. Thank you, Kitty. And she's not going to let it go, Chris. She's never going to let it go now, bro. It's going to be, Chris, where are my firemen every time she sees you now?
Maybe I'll throw firemen in the next book.
There. Would that make you better if you throw firemen in the next book, Carrie?
Yeah, I have a privacy fence. It won't even show outside for you. I'm sorry.
And he's like, and that's why I don't care if the neighbor's house is burned down. Not my problem. Oh, no. And Carrie says, how's that? And I think I'm good. If you guys are good, we good? Can we
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Flip City, I'll be on with them on the 17th.
Oh yeah, cool. And
just before I forget.
Like you said, we got some good things coming, man. We'll have Mark Dicko on the channel here coming up. I talked to Chuck. We'll get Chuck out here and talk about the movie, and just stay tuned, people. We'll have some good stuff coming up for you. Promises. That's Ghost Pepper. Anything? Talk to me.
Well, okay, so I got a real quick question for Chris. So
yes.
I think the last time we were on, you were talking about people that may or may not want to get like 3D printers and print the little figurines and stuff. So I looked into it, and the printer is no problem. It's the stuff to go in the printer that is the tariff thing right now that we're not making here that I could possibly get. So do you know of a source in the United States that I could get the I guess plastics, to feed the machine for the colors, the rope, the plastic rope that the machine that I was looking at had, I guess, a spool on the back, and you put different colors of rope on it, and it melts them together into the program, that you set it for. Like, let's just say you wanted a American flag little piece for your game, and so I would need red, white, and blue, right? So I'd need all 3 colors of rope to go onto the machine. And I was, everywhere I've looked, it's just like, it comes from overseas, so I know you can get it easy on Amazon and things like that. I know that, but a lot of this stuff is coming from overseas, so soon it's going to be a lot more expensive. I would rather be able to go like directly to this guy instead of even Amazon. Say, hey, I need some quality stuff. This guy's making quality games. I need the good rope for my machine. You got any suggestions? That is
an honest good question. Yeah, it's not something I had looked into because I'm not subscribing. But apparently these are in the U.S.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, and this one's wood. Weird. Metal. All different colors, all different kinds. But no, honestly, I haven't looked into that because I use a resin printer. But I will gladly look around if you need me to and try to find it.
As long as these people are, I guess with people like you, you're real serious about this, and I would love to, possibly be able to help.
Yeah.
And I know people with these machines, and I was like, where do we get stuff local? Let's try to help out, maybe not local, but United States wise people, to just go around all that mess. Just get it straight from
I'm going to
quick
put this one in private for you to check out.
Okay.
Because this one is go away. This one is made in the U.S. And they do have the different types. These are the big spools,
right?
And these are the big ones. So, if this is what you're looking for to do it as a professional, as somebody who's going to be printing out many things, these ones might be your supply. But honestly, this has only been a couple of seconds me checking it out, but I will gladly look around. But that's one I found.
Yeah, because I know people with the machines, and I've actually looked into maybe getting a machine. I'm no professional, but if there's a demand there, I'd love to feel it. I'd love to be one of these people that could feel some type of art aspect, even though I can't draw fancy comics. But I love the network here. So when you say, hey, you mentioned that it was a problem, like all the pieces come from China or something. This is a problem. We don't want to get the crap from China. We want, Ghost Pepper down the street to be able to ship me 7 pieces and see if I like them.
Yep.
Right. And then if I like them, I'll order, 100 pieces.
Exactly.
And then people might say, "Where'd you get these fancy pieces made?" Oh, I want some for my thingy or whatever. I just looking for any opportunity to be involved. So
yeah. Even if they do it as Like I know Miss Carissa is doing figures for her campaigns, and
Right.
so is Miss Lori. She's doing Sad Pancake and Big James, and that is just 3D printed off, and I'm sure that if somebody can make it in a cost effective manner, that they might just say, hey, mass produce me a bunch.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I almost think the cost effectiveness is not, in my instance anyway, the cost effectiveness is not a problem. It's the being able to program it perfect. That part is a lot more complicated than people think. So that, but finding, even if I have to pay more for the stuff, finding it local eventually is going to pay off in the long run for everybody.
I would hope.
Even if I have to charge 50 cents a piece instead of 48 cents a piece or whatever, it's worth it to me to be able to, anyway.
There you go. And then some more economics lessons, people.
Yes.
Buy local and the prices locally will come down.
Yeah. I mean, the more you buy local, I mean, if I had a biscuit shop and I was only selling biscuits overseas and they were taxing my crap, then if people locally started buying my biscuits, I could just make more biscuits and just sell them for $1 instead of $2. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, just
absolutely
simple.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, people. I'm on jet. I got It's Freaking Figures tonight with Dustin. 10:30.
Sweet.
Right. Tuesday morning brew tomorrow with Lori. Should be out here with the angry artist. You know who that is. His name is William Russell. He's an angry guy. He's an angry guy. Oh no, he's So, tune in tomorrow, tune in tonight, tune in always, and try not to miss it because, we try to make sure that we're entertaining, educating, and intoxicating.
Yeah. That's right.
Where they can find you, brother.
Me? Pretty much everything where Laughing Rogue is, or if you look on the X, I'm Laughing Rogue PA. Otherwise, I'm here. I don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Stop by the house. Obviously, we got the fire company out there. Miss Carrie, just stop over. We'll hang out.
Ghost Pepper, give the Pilled some love, bro.
All right. You can usually find me on Pilled, various chats. I do a show with my friend Java every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. A little comedy, a little fun. So, something to just take you away from that political madness. Yeah, out there. Get you some love.
And if you go look at the chat on Pilled, Cosmic Grandpa is giving you the complete rundown. I guess he does it. So
yeah, that's awesome.
I'm telling you guys, when we all decide that we're all going to work together toward one thing, we're going to be able to do everything in-house.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like we'll be able to do everything in-house. When everybody just decides, okay, let's get underneath this umbrella and everybody work together, we won't be stopped. The phone call I got earlier in this show has to do with a company that is building a bridge between independent creators and retailers. We'll be talking to him in a little while, guys. We're building something here. Don't blink. Don't blink because you don't know what's coming next, man. I'm just saying. Carrie, leave me alone.
More than welcome to come and hang out. More than welcome.
Carrie's so much fun.
Ghost Pepper is Southern. He lives down there by Doc.
Yeah, I'm in Georgia. Right here in Georgia.
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
Drove there once.
Guys, we are putting together, we're slowly putting together all the pieces that we need to really make this thing work. Like I said, don't blink. And if you see where you can be part of this, just like what Ghost Pepper was just saying, wanting to be part of this, Cos, coming in as a partner. Chris has always been here supporting me since the day I met him, right? If you get it and you understand what we're trying to do, you're more than welcome to come on board. And it doesn't matter how, lending services to the network and helping everybody involved. that's really it. You know, it's like you get involved in the network. Somebody says, I need, and you go, hey, I can help. I got you. I got you. Before you know it, everybody's helping each other, and this thing grows. That's all it takes. Oh, jeez. You leave Forrest Gump. I mean, leave Ghost Pepper alone, Carrie. Come on. Be nice, girl. Be nice, girl. All right, we're going to get out of here.
She wants to interview me. That's fine.
Yeah, it's
fine. I'm a fireman, by the way.
Nice.
That's what you get. See? There you go. We're going to get out of here. We have, let's see, what also on his channel tonight, Big Sexy Outdoors.
Yeah, and we go live every Thursday too now.
Yes. So if you're an outdoorsman, you like fishing, hunting, stuff like that, they have a great show with some great sponsors, always doing killer giveaways. Go check it out.
Oh yeah.
Big Sexy Outdoors on YouTube. And Carrie, I'm yeah, I know you're always nice. She just wants to know if it's a real human. That's all. One of these days we'll have him show you his hand. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, I could sit here and do this all day. We're out of here. Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Click on the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe.